Welcome to the PHNX Coyotes podcast, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download today using the promo code PHNX. Bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. It's just that easy. All right, here we go. Pack therapy. We're back. Oh my God, I'm struggling. Woo.
ASMR.
Welcome back to Pack Therapy, everyone. Cheers. Cheers.
I literally speechless.
Cheers.
I don't know what to say next. What do we do now?
Oh, by the way.
Cheers, Shane.
Pack
Therapy.
Pack Therapy. The desert doctors are in.
I like that, Desert Doc. Do you come up with that?
No, Espo did.
Oh, that's actually really good.
You might notice this empty chair. Craig was here. He just left the room.
Andrew is counting as money. I will say this to Andrew.
Every time.
If you tuned in to my first appearance on the PHNX Bet Show, I was 0 for 9. Today, money, buddy. I'm right there with you, Andrew. It's a good day in the NHL for PD and youth, so thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. You can see the wheel behind me. We'll spin it later. But, yes, so Craig was here. He just simply could not handle another Coyotes loss. No, that's not true. He's in the post-game availability right now on the phone. So he'll be back in a second. We just thought we'd leave his chair here, and PD and I will hold it down. So a 3-1 game in the end. It looked like they were going to be shut out again.
Yeah, would it be? I tell you what, they've been shut out 4 times already this year.
4 times in the last 8 games.
Yeah.
That's half of the last 8 games.
So it's 3 goals in 5 games now?
Yeah, that would be 3.
3 and 5?
3 and 5, which is just
Craig
is weeping in the closet.
He's actually crying in the bathroom right now.
Oh my God.
This team isn't going to win unless they score. We know that, but if they're not going to score, they better defend better. We sat in here, and I don't know how many times tonight we saw 1 or 2 Ducks all alone in front of Amelka in behind the Coyotes defenders. They can't play like that. If they can't defend, they can't win.
My therapist will be joining us. His name is Dr. Jack
Daniel.
Daniels. I love it.
This is game 11.
Oh,
this is game 11.
God.
We got 71
okay, and
to go.
speaking of 11.
No, 61? 71? I can't.
72?
I don't know.
71?
71.
Well, speaking of 11 games, with tonight's loss, the Coyotes tie the franchise record for the worst start in a season. 11 winless games. They've only done that one other time, and it ties the franchise record. So records could be broken tomorrow, but not the kind that you would want to be broken.
Yeah, it's the Seattle Kraken tomorrow. So earlier we said this is a weekend they might win. We said, okay, we looked on the calendar. We said Anaheim and Seattle. Anaheim's rebuilding as well. They got a few, they've got younger. They're probably a year or 2 away from where the Coyotes were. So they're a little farther along in the process where their draft picks are actually playing now, where the Coyotes guys haven't even been picked yet. So they're a little bit ahead of where the Coyotes are. And Seattle was another team you thought, well, they're off to a slow start. So this weekend, maybe they'll get their first win. Anaheim was clearly the better team today. They were faster. They had more scoring chances. Their power play is better. And Seattle coming in, now they're a team that has a threat to score. Eberle gets a hat trick last night.
First in Kraken history.
They're now dangerous. And furthermore, they're sitting in their hotel right now sleeping.
Yeah.
And the Coyotes still have to get on a plane, fly back, and get back to their house. I don't know if I feel great about tomorrow's game.
Seattle is 4-6-1 coming into tomorrow night. They're last in the Pacific, but, I mean, that's more points on the board than the Coyotes have. So, not really looking great. We'll see what happens. And I want to wait to talk more about this when Craig comes back, so we'll table it. But the Coyotes did pick up a goalie on waivers yesterday, so we'll be curious to see who gets to start tomorrow night. We'll talk about that more when Craig gets back in. But what I want to do is early in the day, we tweet out PD's keys to the game.
Oh.
And let's see how the Coyotes did tonight with those keys. First key, stop Troy Terry. Ducks 4 is on 9-game point streak. Well, he got a point tonight.
He got on the point.
It's a 10-game point streak.
So he continued his point streak. He wasn't as big of a factor as he's been in the most recent Duck games. He wasn't dominating tonight. He wasn't a huge factor in tonight's game. I know he gets his point. He looked really good on the power play, but he's been dominating teams 5-on-5. We didn't see that. So I'll give it a maybe. They didn't keep him off the score sheet, but they did defend him better than I expected.
All right, let's see the second key.
What was the second key?
Oh,
I know what it was.
take advantage of Stolarz. Starting goalie Gibson out. Stolarz is winless this season. Well, that is no longer true. He does have a win. And while he did not get the shutout with just 7.8 seconds left, which I'm sure he'd like that one back. Yes, the Coyotes had shots. I think the shots
29.
Were actually,
They ended up with 29 shots on net.
They led the first period. They came out on top with 15 shots, 15-8 Coyotes. So they were getting shots, but like we said, they weren't the kind of shots that are going to give you chances to score.
Yeah, we look deeper into getting shots on net. When you have a goalie, especially a backup, you need traffic in front of the net. You need shots from the point with guys tipping, screening, getting that loose puck, getting those rebounds, having those little scrums around the goaltender. It just didn't happen. There were shots from the dots, outside the top of the circle. I mean, they get the goal late, doing exactly what we talked about, that everybody's converging at the net. But over the 60 minutes...
But at that point, it's like a late goal, a goal would normally rally a team or change the momentum. Like a goal with 7.8 seconds left, all it's going to do is spoil a goaltender shutout.
Yeah.
And maybe now you're not shut out 5 of your last 8, just 4 of your last 8 instead, which, man, I don't even know.
Yeah, so you're right. They have to have a commitment to get pucks and people to the net from the opening faceoff. And again, there were moments tonight where they passed up shots trying to make a pass through sticks again. I hope that stops. I hope if they have a lane to the net, shoot the puck, period. It should be almost a mandate at this point when you're 0-10-1. When you're over the blue line, that puck is going to the net. Everybody knows it. Everybody on the ice knows it. I don't care if the opponents know it. Get the puck to the net. They've scored 3 goals the last 5 games, 14 in 11 games. Throw the puck at the net, period. So that should be a mandate coming into the Seattle game tomorrow. And the last key we talked about was the special teams. They didn't have a power play in their last game.
And they didn't get one until the very end of the second period. And in the 2 power plays they did have, just 1 shot. And
that's part of that's a 5-on-3. They didn't have a sustained pressure on a power play on a 5-on-3.
Did it end up being a 5-on-3 or did they not touch the puck?
Oh,
I think it might have been
They didn't touch it.
I think, yeah.
That's how frustrated I am. I'm sorry.
I mean, I might be
Anaheim gets the power play goal. The Coyotes don't get one shot. They lose the power play battle. We sit there and go, when are they going to win? And I honestly don't know. Like, it's so frustrating for us to watch. I can't imagine what it's like to be in that room, to be in the coaching room, to be in the locker room, because we can sit here and talk about losing all the time. This is the plan. This is what they're supposed to do. This is what management, this is what ownership is looking for. This is what they're supposed to do. So we've said it before, Aaron, we've said it before.
Your time.
Rebuild reminder.
So this is the plan. We're supposed to be losing.
A summary of how it's going. Rebuild reminder.
Do you see Jeffrey? Craig needs to come out of the closet. Where the hell is Craig? Is he still in there? Yeah. He's still on the phone. Well, I can't, honestly, I'm looking forward to Craig coming back and hearing what the coach and the players have to say for tonight.
Me too.
Because there wasn't that desperation of we haven't won a game yet. The guys are diving in front of pucks. And I know we've talked about the 17-18 Coyotes team who now they have tied the record of 11 winless games was the 17-18 team. That team, they were diving in front of pucks. They were, the effort as a group, as a team was noticeable games 9, 10, and 11. I don't know if I'm seeing that right now. There was a glimpse of it on that Eastern trip tonight. I didn't see that at all.
Which that was against teams that were really good. I mean, we said it before, the Capitals, Carolina, Philadelphia, teams that are contenders. So now to see this, Anaheim was kind of a game we had circled on the calendar as a while ago, before we saw how the season was going to go, as maybe a winnable game. So to not see that effort against a game that we might have seen as winnable at some point, it's kind of disappointing. But then again, as this goes on and they keep losing, it's like, how do you get up to go to games and go to the rink? Yeah,
I don't know how the coaching staff goes at this. It's funny. We sat here and listened. The game was on ESPN Plus. I'm sure if you were listening to us now, you knew that you couldn't find it on your Bally's Sports Arizona. So if you couldn't find it there, it was on ESPN Plus. And it was interesting to hear John Tortorella talk about this. And what do you do if you're Arizona? And he really put it in perspective. He said, you can't complain about it. This is what you wanted. This is what you expected. This is what you were looking for. And you do look for those little improvements and those little wins. And he's the winningest American-born head coach in the NHL. I mean, okay, so don't get frustrated and angry. I don't think that's what's happening in their room, though. I don't.
I don't know how you couldn't.
It's hard to go to work.
You're, like you play your whole life. You're playing hockey and you're trying to win at every level your whole life. You're in the NHL. You're not going to say, oh, yeah, never mind. Like, you're programmed to want that. So everyone else can sit there and say, okay, yeah, this was a rebuild. This is the plan. But how do you
square it with what's happening on the ice? And you know that that's the plan. But here's where I'm at. When you look at the standings right now, okay, Coyotes, you're in last. We got it. Joke's over. Win a game. Right? Like, it's okay to win a game.
There's a big cushion.
And even if you get last, you're not going to lose 82, God forbid. And then even if you're dead last, you got a 20% chance of Shane Wright. Like, just for all of us, just get a win.
Yeah, it doesn't even guarantee it.
And that will lead us into, if Craig ever comes back, will lead us into the goalie tease you gave a while ago. But can we get some business out of the way and talk about our DraftKings Sportsbook King of the Game?
Yeah, definitely. Pull it up. So this one came right at the end, and
give it to our crack production staff. Aaron jumped right in the last second.
Oh, my feet are just up. That's how we feel.
We talked about during the game. We talked about pulling a name out of the hat.
Literally, we were gonna just guess at random, and if we didn't have to pre-make the graphic, we would have, because we were just looking for who wasn't a minus.
Yeah, who was on the ice the most? Who didn't fall down?
That should just be he played.
Yeah, he played. We might go to that.
He smiled once.
Yeah, he played.
Had a good time.
Yeah. He had fun playing. Little Johnny had fun playing. That's actually not a bad. So we literally thought about drawing a name from a hat, spinning a wheel. The king of the game, like Oscar Bear, great. He got a goal. It's his first goal of the year.
Yeah.
He's been.
Too bad he didn't get that in Philly.
He's looked. Exactly. Could have used a win there. He's looked good on the power play. He's done a lot of good things. He's been a welcome addition to this team. Congratulations to the Ghost for getting his first goal. Again, meaningless at the time of the game than when he scored it, right?
I'm just dying at the comments. I'm sorry. Craig might be running down the street behind you. Somebody earlier said Craig's empty chair is a metaphor for my soul. Oh, no one got injured. Thank you.
There's, again, looking for that little bit of positivity in the show, in the group therapy. No one got hurt.
I thought strong.
Feet up, beers up.
We thought so too, Nick.
I like Nicholas. Feet up, beers up.
That should be the next shirt.
I don't mind it.
Just anything related to beer. That needs to just be.
There's Andrew. I had the puck line and
Andrew kept
and the under.
So he was asking us a lot if we were watching the Oilers game. We watched it as many times as
Buddy, I had that one too. I nailed the Oilers. I had it 5 for 5. Every game.
Good comeback after your 0 for 9 day yesterday.
Yeah, it was a bad day when I was actually on the bet show talking about it. When I do it for home, I was 5 for 5. It's a good day. Yeah, I hit them all. Yeah, it was good. It was a good day, Andrew. Well, what do you do tomorrow? So let's talk about tomorrow. Let's prognosticate the Coyotes on the betting line tomorrow. It'll be a goal and a half. I'm sure it'll be goal. Will they be a favorite at home? They can't be.
No.
They're 0-11.
You might be.
Not yet. I would. You got to wait for the goaltenders, but do you take the under? I think it may be the under again. The Coyotes can't cover. Every game that Vejmelka, every game he started, it's the under, and Hutton's been the over. It's been a go-to.
Well,
but what if the other guy?
If they play Wedgwood,
which we can't talk about until Craig gets back.
We got
can't take about Fight Club.
Aaron's producing our show, but special guest behind the camera, Shane, host of our daily bet show, is here. Shane, over or under tomorrow night?
That's exactly what he said. If Veggie starts, it's an under.
What if Wedgwood starts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He said hammer the over.
Played
if
4
Wedgwood
games
starts.
in the NHL this year.
Andrew said, "Get your money in on Kraken." You know, Andrew always bets against the Coyotes. So, and if you want to, be like Petey and like Andrew and like Shane, you can bet against the Coyotes nightly on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And if you sign up using the promo code PHNX and bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and they do, you'll win $200 in free bets. It's super, super easy. I say it all the time. If PD can do it, so can you.
I just live bet Russian junior hockey
No, you did not. Shane just said he just live bet Russian junior
did not.
hockey on
Okay.
DraftKings.
I texted you the bet slip.
Was that what that was? Oh,
Oh my! So yeah, you can really do anything on the DraftKings Sportsbook app if you want. They're super, super, super up to date on there. Should we do our DraftKings pick of the week?
we can,
too,
but
while-
we're going to depart from the world of hockey again to where I'm really knowledgeable as football, as Shane will attest. 0 for 4 in my NFL picks yesterday. And Green Bay, who was in here last week and beat the undefeated Cardinals. When Aaron Rodgers has been in the news a lot lately, he will not be playing this weekend as the Green Bay Packers travel to Kansas City in Arrowhead to a team that's been struggling this year. The Kansas City Chiefs have not been themselves in the dominating team they've been in for the last few years, but I am taking for my DraftKings Sportsbook pick of the week, the Kansas City Chiefs -7 over the Green Bay Packers in Arrowhead.
All right.
Is that all I have to do?
That's
it?
all. That's
Shane, what do you think?
Shane is
Jordan Love might light it up.
I know.
well.
I know, and Mahomes is good for two interceptions. It could be awful. And if it rains, it could be even worse.
So maybe don't take
That's
Petey's pick,
my
of
pick of the week.
But that's his pick. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean
it's
you
just
have
my
to do
pick.
it.
You don't have to.
You
do
can pick the opposite one and then tweet at him at S
Yeah.
Peters Hockey. We're trying to get him more
Clearly.
followers. Today he was stuck at 666, so we had
Yeah.
to put out a PSA to get him followers because that was making him really
It
uncomfortable.
worked. So why didn't we do that before? Like,
I
seriously.
know, Craig.
Thanks,
Seriously.
Craig.
Oh
little too
man.
late.
Well, anyway, be sure to check out DraftKings. Use that promo code PHNX. Bet $5 on any NFL team from their game, and win $200 in free bets if they do. That's 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Craig is really in there.
Who are they? Is he doing the whole team? Like interviewing everybody?
I don't know.
You should get paid by the hour.
Man.
So I don't know. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We
well,
talked about
let's talk
Halloween
let's
last
talk
week.
about Liam O'Brien. He had so many. He got in a fight at the end of the game.
I guess are we happy about the fights at the end of the game? I guess they're still in it, right? Larson
now
got in a
he's
fight.
bookended
O'Brien got in a
'cause
fight.
He dropped the gloves at the beginning of, I forget which game it was, but right
Yeah, I was
off
going
the
to say
hop.
Carolina,
And then
but it might not have
this
been.
one to
They all
end the
run
game.
together
He's
now.
just
I guess it's good to see these guys are still
have
competing
emotion.
till the final.
I mean,
yeah,
they're not.
some
It doesn't.
emotion.
It means they're not. Oh, there he comes. Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Shane's laughing. I'm scared. Oh my God.
Here he is.
Did I miss it?
Craig call. Here he is. He had half of it done.
That bottle was full. Hey, that bottle was full earlier. What'd you do, Craig?
Yeah.
Were you actually doing the post-game press conference or?
No post game.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Craig, we've literally talked about everything. We're about ready to wrap it up.
So you guys are leaving?
Hey,
Hey,
Well-
thanks for the pizza though. The pizza was good.
Oh yeah, we
I know
did
you
order
bought
pizza.
tonight.
I think I ate like 5 bags of cookies while I was in there too. So
Yeah.
Nutter butters.
So, Craig, how was the mood
not good.
in the post game
Roger
presser?
said for the first time this season he thought his team got outworked.
For the
And
first time?
that's a condemnation of a team. When you get outworked in a game, that just means you're not bringing effort. And look, we talked about at what point, PD, these guys start losing faith. And when you lose faith, you don't have the same drive anymore. It's tough. It's a tough situation because there's 71 more games of this that they have to fight through. But and I think this will ebb and flow a little bit. You'll see better efforts from them at times, but you just wonder how often you're going to see this as the season carries on now when they know they have no chance of really accomplishing anything.
It's going to get more difficult, and you're going to see more lackluster efforts as the season continues because guys are going to get frustrated. One of the things you see in situations like this, you see individualistic plays where guys are trying to pad their numbers, or I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to get more power play points, or selfish play to make the individual look better. Unfortunately, even that's not going to work for this club.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a mentality where you're going to see guys' shoulders drops. The body language is going to suck. Fingers are going to start getting pointed, whether it's going to be at the coach, the manager, the guy sitting next to you in the locker room. It is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
They have to find a way to win. One win, and at least clears the slate for this group. I don't see this team winning 18, 20, 25 games. I just don't. They need to get that first one. They have to get it because they can't go to work every day as the losingest team in the history of the NHL.
I'm sure you guys talked about this a little bit too, but tonight, I mean, we saw it. There were There were structural breakdowns. There's poor defending. There were all kinds of things that we didn't see, at least in those 3 games that were leading up to this when they were in Washington and Carolina and Philadelphia. I thought they at least competed well in those games. They still can't score. They still have 14 goals in 11 games, which is just a crazy total. You're not going to win in the NHL at that rate. But you felt like they were doing a lot of good things. They're playing much better defensively. Their PK had improved. I felt like they were committed tonight. It just felt like they didn't carry any of that momentum into this last game of the trip. This was not a well-played game for the Coyotes. They were a poor team tonight. And Andre said in the post-game press conference, he said, I can't single out a single guy and say that over the course of the game he played well. There's not a single guy.
That's why we struggled so much with picking our DraftKings King of the Game.
Yeah, which we've now done. And we're waiting for you to get back because we can still have fun. We've been told by, Jacob, and I don't know if do we work for Jacob? No? Okay. Just checking. I don't know. Who signs my paychecks. Anyway, so Craig, we were talking about tomorrow. The big exciting news on the goaltender that this team picked up over the last few days was
Scott Wedgwood. Wedgie.
We waited
Wedgie
for
and
you.
Veggie.
We waited for you to talk about Wedgie.
We didn't talk about this at all.
I got to talk to Scott today before the game, and they haven't announced him as the starter tomorrow. You got to believe he's going to play in a back-to-back, right? Especially when you're on the road and then fly home.
The last time he started after
he broke the streak at 11 games. The last time he was in the lineup, so
maybe
lightning will strike again.
The Coyotes used 5 goalies in 11 days.
You see I had a photo in my story today, like of the guys that were on that team. There's a celebration photo. Hunter Miska's in the photo. Scott Wedgwood's in the photo. It's crazy to look at some of the guys that are in that photo. You're like, oh yeah, he was on the team.
That was
it's nuts. Yeah.
But Scott Wedgwood, they picked up actually while the team was in New Jersey.
That's right.
Picked him up from New Jersey and he moved down the hall with his bag. True story.
Yeah.
And
you got the story? You got a Wedgie story here?
I do have a Wedgie story. Well, that's not the story, but it is a story. He moved down the hallway to join the team. We get on the plane that night. He just joined the team, and it's mildly awkward when you get on there. You don't know where to sit. You don't know where the media sits, where the coaches sit. It's kind of awkward. So here he's coming down the aisle of the plane. He's got a lot of stuff because he's now moving with the team, and he's got a suitcase. It's a travel suitcase for his video game station. Could have been a PlayStation. I don't know. They don't make a difference to me, but that's back when the days guys played those on the plane. And he had this custom case, and he had airbrushed painting of himself playing goal with his New Jersey Devil gear on, airbrushed on this case. And I sat there, I looked at it as he's walking down the aisle, trying to think if that's super cool and I want one, or can you do that? Can you have your own face on your
little too self-referential?
Yeah, on your Xbox travel case? I questioned that for a long time, but once you get to know Wedgie, it's
great.
Yeah, it fits. It fits. Yeah, you absolutely can have yourself on your video game case.
Like most goalies, he's an intelligent guy and a great quote. So.
And a really
Wedgie
nice
and
couple of goalies
Veggie,
in this room.
Are you kidding me?
So can Wedgie get the win tomorrow? Can he do it? Does he end 2 streaks?
What's Leah's call?
No.
Wow. Okay. Just laying it out there. Seattle
I
comes
just
in. Go ahead.
Keep your expectations low and you'll never be disappointed.
Honestly, if he gets the start tomorrow, they might win.
You said that when Provatov started.
I know, and I was
they
wrong.
lost.
I have to believe he's playing tomorrow. He has to play tomorrow, doesn't he?
I know, but that's the story, though. Sometimes the story writes itself. That's the freaking story.
But then don't they not play till
that's
they don't
the
play
story.
till Wednesday?
Like he stops the 2 biggest losing streaks in franchise history.
He could, but
that's the story. Like write a movie. Call the guys from Miracle and get the story started. The Wedgie, the Miracle. I like it.
You mentioned the fact that he had to move down the hallway in New Jersey for that game. Well, in this instance, the Devils were in
LA.
Southern California. They just played the Ducks.
No way.
Yeah.
They just played the Ducks. So he said, same thing. Same situation. I just left my gear at Honda Center, took a 20-minute Uber to a new hotel, and it's worked out well for him with the Coyotes. Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
I got to believe he's going to be in the goal.
I do too.
And it was fun talking to him because this is a guy that's bounced around. He's been with like 5 NHL teams and played for 5 AHL teams in the last 5 years. So he's all over the place. And, he was drafted in the 3rd round. He said that, they pump you up, tell you you're going to be the next Martin Brodeur when you're coming up with the Devils.
Man.
And then, things change a little bit over the next 4 years too. He's got such a healthy approach to everything. He understands the situation he's in now. He may not be here in a couple weeks when Carter Hutton comes back. So He's fully cognizant of all that whole situation, but just has a fun, very lighthearted attitude about it. I mean, he still wants to win. He said, "Look, I'd still love to be in the Hall of Fame, but it's probably not going to happen at this point."
There are a couple interesting things on this too, though. It sends Prosvetov back down to Tucson,
Yes.
which we said is where he needs to be. He can't get these losing habits. He can't get left out to dry every single game. So Prosvetov going back to Tucson, huge. The question to me is going to be if Wedgwood can give even an average performance tomorrow and maybe once again next week before you see Carter Hutton come back, and he's put up 2 decent games. Maybe not 2 wins, but 2 respectable games. What happens with Carter Hutton, who honestly hasn't put up respectable numbers? So now what?
Yeah, it's
do you just wave Wedge and he's gone?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, listen, Carter Hutton's got to play when he comes back, right? So Scott Wedge, and I have a lengthier note on this. I talked to Bill Armstrong about this today. Scott Wedge was on a 2-way contract, but he's not waivers exempt. So you got to pass him through waivers. With so many teams needing goaltending help, he could be claimed. He could be gone in a week plus. He could be just a cameo here, a cup of coffee with the Coyotes. But yeah, I have also wondered what happens if he turns in a couple of great performances. Do you just let him go at that point, or do you think?
Yeah,
I mean, listen, Bill Armstrong has a relationship with Carter Hutton, right?
Right,
but if you don't feel like he can play in the NHL, do you put Carter Hutton on waivers? I don't know that anybody's claiming him, right?
Not statistically with the numbers he's put up.
Yeah,
I don't
so it's an interesting question. We'll see how that plays out.
We have something to talk about anyway.
So Tucson lost 3-0. So that's sad.
They've been kind of up and down.
And then Aaron, can you scroll up a little in the comments?
But you got to think they got Ben McCartney was here, Dyson Mayo's here.
That's every AHL team.
Someone asked if they sent Soderstrom down. No, he was just scratched tonight.
I wonder when that happens.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. Deneen and McCartney had their NHL debuts.
Yeah. Did they do the lap?
They did. They did the dual solo lap like I suggested in
fantastic
before the game.
Okay.
Yep.
Very neat.
We knew PD was a big McCartney fan. Or actually, both of you were.
Ben McCartney was great in training out, and we knew he'd get games. It was a numbers game. He had a 2-way contract. He was going to the minors. We said he'd be up here to play a game this year or more, and he did. And I don't think he looked out of place.
No, he was fine.
He was fine.
This is a hard game to really evaluate anyone.
Yeah.
Another thing, and I know we talked about it a lot, but Jacob Chychrun is now -16.
I think it's -18, isn't he?
Yeah, that
has been updated the stats.
Okay, well maybe
tonight.
it's not updated on NHL.com. -18. So during the game, we looked at what the record for the worst minus over the course of the season was. So it's -82 in 59 games played, which was Bill Mickelson in the 1974.
Not Phil Mickelson.
No, I know, right? 1974-1975 Washington Capitals season, which I think was that horrible season that they only got 8 wins. That might have been the same season. So -82 is the worst. We said Jacob Chychrun's at -18, still no points this season.
Really
but
big concern, right?
We did.
This is your segue. Is this your segue?
No, it wasn't
okay,
a segue.
my bad.
Segue for what?
Sorry, it's the tequila talking.
The tequila is talking. No, he was on the first power play unit. He was back on the first power play unit. That's all I have to say about him.
No points though, huh?
No points.
I mean, Petey,
I literally speechless. Yeah. We talked about him in the preseason. We had somebody in this.
It was
Deus
me.
had him as one of the leading scorers of this team, which is what is that? 3 goals to lead the team. It's not like it's
that's where it is right now. Yeah,
the bar's not very high.
I think Clayton Keller leads the team with 3 goals.
Yeah,
I mean they only have 14 goals.
Yeah. So, but if you would have said Jacob Chychrun scoreless through 11, I would have said no way,
no points,
no chance.
And -18. I mean, you're watching him.
Yeah,
he doesn't look like a confident player out there right now, does he?
How could you be confident when this is what's happening?
So
he did start on the power play today for the first time in maybe 10 games. He was on the number 1 power play unit. I don't know. I don't know how what he needs to do to get out of this funk that he's in right now. I don't know.
Oh God.
I'm trying to remember such a dramatic swing for a player from one season to the next. Because last season, I genuinely thought he was at least top 5 for the Norris. And this year,
well, I mean, at least you discussed him about the Norris. Like it was in the conversation at least. Like, well, clearly the Coyotes thought so too. They sent him to the NHL media day as their representative.
Right,
he's the face of the franchise for this summer.
He's got no points and he's -18.
Yeah, I hope he gets out of it. But
I mean, he's a guy you never have to worry about his work ethic or his attitude.
For sure.
But
His preparation, all of those
Yep.
things are true.
But confidence is a huge thing, as you know, in this
For
game.
sure.
And then when you look at what's around him, man, it's hard.
Shane won his Russian juniors live bet.
I can't read these, so I don't know what
Okay,
you guys
so
are laughing at.
what we had said before is when we were talking about DraftKings, Shane said that he live
Live
bet
bet a
Russian
junior game.
juniors on DraftKings.
Yeah. And he won.
And he
Wow.
won.
I'm going to put on my glasses now. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Oh my goodness. The
Yeah,
wheel of profanity. That's funny.
Yeah, and I'm reading some of these comments like really hard for Chikrin to be confident with such poor forward play, and that's true. It all plays together. But
you couldn't read. Oh, you put your glasses.
yeah,
put
I
my
put my
glasses
glasses on.
Is that a vanity thing?
Hey, when did you get here?
Like I
Petey?
wear my glasses the whole. I see better with my glasses on, so it turns out I wear my glasses.
I just forgot. It's an old thing.
Wow.
Oh my
It's an
god.
age. I'm sorry.
Wow.
What's your name?
Exactly.
You
Wow.
really got into that tequila.
Jacob Franklin. What are you doing on here?
See,
Are you
now you
supposed to
can
be
see.
busy?
Is he on
Jacob's up
vacation
past
still?
it's 10:10. It's past your bedtime, Jacob.
Well, are we gonna do this?
So, the wheel of fantasy? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, everyone's been asking. It's time.
Do we have the music, Aaron? Is Aaron
Yeah.
No, but we
prepared?
have to do it after we.
Well,
What's
I
the
know.
Dvorak take? Did you guys have a Dvorak take before I came
No.
in?
No. Oh, trade. He corrected us.
Oh, okay.
Or she,
Trade.
sorry,
Got
I
it.
don't know. Okay, so if you missed it, the
we
wheel
have
of
to explain
fantasy. Well, some people might not know.
I know.
So the wheel.
Why
of
is our wheel
All
smaller?
8 of the people listening
How
right
come
now.
we got a smaller
because
wheel than the
that
Suns?
wheel is hard to transport, and
It's not
this
about
one,
the
I don't even have
size,
to
Craig.
move. I just go like this.
Mhm.
Okay, so Wheel of Fantasy, we need to create some joy because this is a joyless year. So we created 12 alternate scenarios that are positive, and we're gonna spin the wheel, read one at random, and we're gonna restart the show and act like that thing just happened. So
Yeah, it's an alternate reality, alternate Coyotes reality. Just take us away from the
just for 1 minute,
misery for 1 minute.
the Wheel of Cope. That's funny. Like Wheel of
That's
Cope.
good.
That's good. All right. Here we go. Look at Shane Doan nodding his head. All right, 9.
Number 9.
Somebody wants to know if you're drunk, by the way, Petey. How will you answer that question?
I'm not yet, but
All right.
Tequila's
I'm
faster.
gonna read it, and
Okay.
then Aaron's gonna play the music
Got it.
again. Okay, ready? Here's the scenario. Phil Kessel's hat trick caps off a 3-1 win over his former Pittsburgh Penguins. Aaron, roll the music. All right.
Unbelievable.
what a night for Phil the Thrill. His
Unbelievable.
return back to Pittsburgh,
Where he won 2 Stanley
Middle of
Cups.
winter.
I mean,
barely got to the rink today because of the snowstorm from the bus
Right.
today. So Phil was one of the last guys into the rink today, barely made it for warmups, but he was dynamite tonight.
I was also really impressed when he got off the bus, tied ropes to the front of it, and pulled the team into the dock.
That is
was
aggressive.
I mean, talk
like
about
it.
team play. It was
That is
impressive. It
aggressive.
was impressive.
That is aggressive, and that's the kind of team player Phil Kessel is.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of his goals tonight on the power play, breakaway on the power play through Crosby, through Malkin, through Letang, all his
Yep.
old former teammates.
on the power play, why are they?
It was
killing
amazing.
penalties?
It was amazing.
Yep.
He was
Why
Phil
are those-
Kessel was amazing. And the Coyotes, this is the second time they beat Pittsburgh this year. Kessel is team leading 39th goal of the year. Fantastic.
Closing in. Go ahead.
Jacob Chikrin assists on all 3.
Yeah. What's his point total up to now?
40.
He's at 40. Chikrin's at 40, and talk of Norris around the Jacob
Plus
Chikrin
18.
performance.
on the
And a
season.
shame about Keith Yandel getting injured, but now Phil Kessel closing in on the Ironman streak as well. Amazing stuff to watch here for Phil Kessel.
Song, yeah. Yeah, Phil Kessel now not only leading the league in goals, he is also leading the entire NHL in the Ironman streak for active players.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
still trying to confirm
story.
that he volunteered to come out of the lineup tonight, but they said no. You know, had a slight injury and thought maybe he shouldn't play, but
Well, congratulations to
Put him
Phil,
in.
and he was our draft king of the game.
DraftKings king of the game.
To Phil Kessel.
Easy.
And back to reality.
Oh, it's too fun.
man.
Song, yeah. Did you ever see him do that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
There's
him?
so many things
Of
that he
course.
does. The whistle. I can't even think of the character that he does when he talks through a whistle.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
The what?
exactly.
Everybody should do that on the
He
puck.
kills me with that.
Everybody should be doing that.
And then we've talked about this before. Every time the goalie stops the puck for him behind the net as he
you.
skates past, he says, "Thank you."
I tell you what was
love
the
him.
trade? What was the Keith Yandel trade? What? Or he just didn't get
he was
re-signed.
just-
Didn't get re-signed. Couldn't
No.
afford to re-sign him.
No. They trade. Did they trade him
I
for
thought-
Anthony Duclair? That was the Ranger trade, right?
Yeah, I think it was the end.
Oh,
He was. He
yeah.
is. And we talk about the good guys in hockey. Keith
Oh.
Yandel's on my Mount Rushmore of Coyote players for sure.
So hard to get him to be that personality in front of media, but when you got it, oh my God, he was gold.
He's
Abs-
unreal.
It's just hilarious. That one of those under your breath kind of senses of humor, dry sense of humor. but-
Smart, witty,
yeah.
great team guy.
Yep.
He's a leader in the locker rooms. Like everywhere he's been a leader. It's
Shane Doan's co-pilot.
It's unfortunate that he left the organization. It's
Yeah.
really it was
Everyone in the
unfortunate.
comments is just correcting us on what he was trying
Oh,
to
it was for Duke,
Claire and
Duke
Deanne.
and D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Tony D.
Oh,
there you go.
Tony D.
See, this is the way it is
on
in
the
Discord
opposite
too.
end of
Literally.
the spectrum.
Literally,
On
Craig.
Tony D'Angelo.
This is the Discord. They're telling us like they know.
Well, I
more.
said Duke. I said
They
it was a
literally should
Duclair
be on the
trade.
show. Like we should be listening to them.
Tony D.
I can't wait for the rest of the league to know the Coyotes fans and media are fantasizing different scenarios because the team is so bad.
Well, I mean, it feels like we're in an alternate universe watching this team anyway, because you've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, it's hard. The truth is, like you're watching, we're here. We want this to be better. Like we don't want to come in here and talk about losing every day. It's not fun.
No, it's much easier to cover a winning team.
It is.
Yeah,
So
look how much fun we just had with that.
Yeah. So 1 minute every once in a while, we take a little break from reality. I think it's okay.
To answer that question, no, Victor Soderstrom did not get sent down. He was just a healthy scratch as they put Cam Dineen in the lineup tonight.
Are these all our questions to Arizona Trade Castle? We've said it before. They probably will.
Well,
they
it's
are
funny,
trying
though.
to trade Kessel, and Phil Kessel wants to be traded. They just haven't received a legitimate offer at this point.
Yeah.
It may happen. I'm thinking it's a trade deadline move unless somebody has. We've said this a million
Can
times.
he go? Can Vegas find a way to make it work?
Yeah, because
Speaking-
I still think they're going to pull a Kucherov with Eichel. They'll just leave him on.
on
you know,
IR.
I-
Because
until
they
the
still
playoffs
have
start
they
and-
still haven't scored a power play goal.
Yeah, I mean Phil Kessel could really help their power play.
He
Anything
could.
could help their power play.
But
we're
Phil
operating
Kessel
at
isn't helping the
0%.
Coyotes.
I will
play,
say
though.
this: Phil Kessel's name is getting mentioned around the league, and I'll just leave it at that.
Insider Petey, you heard it
Well,
here first.
after pulling the bus, I mean,
Have to put,
How could you
Legend.
not?
He
That's
will-
a team guy right there.
he will get traded by the trade deadline.
yeah, I think so too.
Will it be for a first round pick? No, but he will get traded by the trade
Have
deadline.
you guys talked about the Eichel situation, by the way?
no,
we
we
didn't.
haven't.
I thought it was
Let's-
a
let's
segue.
turn
I'm
to
just
that
saying.
now.
Yeah, let's
Talk
talk about it.
Vegas. Let's talk about Jack
Let's talk
Eichel,
about
shall we?
Jack
Yeah.
Eichel. It's the saga's finally
Let's
over.
wrap up tonight's show
A
with
trade
Jack
that
Eichel.
should have happened in the offseason finally happened 1 month into the season. Jack Eichel is going to have that. I don't know how to determine that surgery.
The
It's
surgery he wants.
The disc
the surgery he
replacement
wants,
surgery?
but the surgery that is a little iffy. We'll see. I mean, there are some medical people who think it's going to be fine. There are some who do not. Some who wonder if he'll ever be the same player when he comes back from it. But in terms of the trade itself, he's going to have the procedure. He's going to be out an indefinite amount of time. We
Till
don't
at
know.
least February.
Yeah, we don't know what the timeline looks like, but I could see them, because of their cap issues, just keeping him on the shelf until the playoffs. But just like the Tampa Bay Lightning did with Nikita Kucherov, and comes back for the playoffs.
That
Now,
worked out well
you'd
for them.
like to, yeah, they won the Cup. You'd like to see him develop some sort of chemistry with his teammates, but you can do a little bit of that in practice if you come back. You can get some of that going. I could still see that happening, that they go that route. But what I wonder, first of all, is he going to come back from the surgery and be anything like
Right.
he was before? Secondly, how does Jack Eichel fit in that locker room, that dressing room? Look, there's more than a few whispers around the league that he's not a great dressing room guy. So is that going to be a problem for Vegas as well?
I think if he is going to be a part of their success in the playoffs, he has to play before game 82. Has to.
I look like a discount Clark Kent. I like that. That's a good comment.
harsh.
Somebody said you look
That's a
weird
good
without a suit.
comment.
Also, somebody scroll up, Aaron. Jacob missed the wheel. Wow. Legit question for sports betting: will the Yotes get a win first, or will Golden Knights get a power play goal first?
Wow.
So back to Eichel.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. When you're done reading, Craig, whenever you're ready, we can start the show again.
Just
You
call
done?
me discount Clark Kent from now on. Okay.
Nobody answered the question.
No, Eichel. He's got to play before game 82 because he'll screw up the room if he doesn't. He's
Hey,
not. He
I'm
is.
using
You
it.
think so? Okay.
Yeah, I
No.
think he has to play before game 82. Has to.
I think Vegas will get a power play goal first before the Coyotes win.
I agree.
Eichel. Back to Eichel.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way to get his salary under the cap. He's going to have to play before game 82. Has to. You can't put him into a brand new team. Like, that's what the Coyotes are.
How do
The
you
Coyotes
shed
are 20
$7
new guys.
million more in salary without just gutting that team and not being able to make a run for a cup? Bill Foley is all in on winning a cup.
Absolutely.
$7 million more. That's like 2 players that you
Yeah.
got to shave. That's crazy.
He's got to play.
I don't know.
He's got to play. I think he's got to play. Plus,
They've already
what kind of
given
a
up
player will
Alex
he be
Tuck
not
and Peyton
playing?
Krebs. And
Yeah, I like the trade for Buffalo. I do. I like Peyton Krebs. They really have nothing in the cupboards. You know, we talk about developing and prospects. This was it for Vegas. Peyton Krebs was it. They were all in. He was their guy.
Yeah.
He's the only draft pick at the rookie tournament. They said that has a chance to play. That's upcoming. He gone.
I
So
know.
now what? So I
Yeah.
all in for a guy that one is hurt, 2 is having a surgery that people don't know what it'll be like. 3, we've talked about what he's like in a locker room. He needs a. I heard somebody in the Discord comparing him to Connor McDavid. Out of your mind. Like Connor McDavid, 1 is the best player on the planet.
That
1,
goal
2, he
scored
leads the
tonight.
league in
Oh my
scoring.
God.
2, Connor McDavid makes every player around him better.
Yep.
4, Connor McDavid's a great locker room guy.
They're going to be in the same division now, though. That's cool.
Eichel's a good player. He's really talented. I don't think Eichel makes everybody around him
No,
better.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
he's in
he's
the
a
same
great
conversation.
leader. I don't
Agree.
think he's a great guy in the locker room. I think Jack Eichel's a great guy for Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work in Vegas.
And further to your point about their prospect pool, Vegas has nothing left. There's no future
it.
for them. It's all about now.
It's like the opposite of the
If this
Coyotes.
doesn't pan out this season or next season, when do we see just a huge slide for the Vegas Golden
Yep.
Knights? And if they don't win the cup, I mean, you can make the argument that what they did helped the market anyway because they had such a storybook start. Maybe they cemented their place in that city. They're the first team there, and they did some great things. And the emotional connection with the mass shootings, all of that may have cemented their place already. But this is going to be a bad team really soon. It's going to happen fast, and I wonder how that city will react when the Golden Knights really start to slide.
Or will they pay their way out of it?
How?
Will they
How do you keep-
continually pay their way out of it? Because they're willing to spend money.
But I
and
don't
to
know
the
that you
cap.
can continually do that in free agency. I don't know that you can.
So
You have to build somewhat through the draft. You have to have some draft capital and guys coming up through the system.
Somebody had said in the comments, like, could the Coyotes have been in on that? And wasn't it reported that Bill Armstrong was
Yeah,
trying,
I
but
mean-
not to get Eichel, but to be part of the team that would help
to help
retain-
broker the deal. Yeah, listen,
Salary.
GMs make a lot of calls. Okay, if we reported like every call that every GM made, that it'd be just an unending string of tweets about stuff that didn't happen. But GMs talk all the time. They're always on the phone with one another discussing things. But yeah, like I mean, Bill Armstrong's always looking for future assets. Obviously, we've learned that about him.
Yeah.
Another part of that Vegas and Buffalo deal was the rumored interest of the Calgary Flames. The Calgary was definitely in. They were definitely in on trying to get Jack Eichel, but Matthew Tkachuk's name got thrown out there. And man, I was told by 2 league sources that was just complete fabrication, that he was never on the table in that deal. And when you look at the situation, you can say, okay, he's in the last year of his deal. Maybe Calgary was worried about not getting him signed, but this guy's future captain material. I mean, he's a major building block in Calgary. They didn't want to trade him. He was
Which,
not going.
Speaking of Kachuk captains, Brady was just named.
Yeah, Brady was just
captain
named- yeah, that's
in
right.
Ottawa.
Yeah,
I
And
don't
Keith
think
was captain here.
to your
Look at
point in your reporting.
Good night, Jacob.
He wasn't involved in this at all.
Yeah.
And furthermore, I don't know how Jack Eichel fits on that team. You talk about him in Vegas. I can see him in Vegas. They have a really strong leadership group. They have guys that are veterans. Calgary under Daryl Sutter.
Yeah.
Is that a fit? Is he a Daryl Sutter
That's
player?
a weird fit. I mean, you can say Calgary also needs to be better up the middle, right?
For sure.
Sean Monahan has never been the
Yep.
player that they expected him to be. But yeah,
And they could use the goal scoring for sure. And they expect to be a team that's going to compete against Edmonton down the stretch here. They see themselves in the playoffs, and they're going to have to play against a team like Edmonton. They're going to need scoring. They need to be strong up the middle. Eichel provides both of those things for sure. At what cost? I mean, we talked about Brad Treliving where he's at. He's all in right now. Like,
Yeah, he
you
has
got to
to be.
win. Like, So I can see them being involved. That I just don't see Kachuk
You
being a
know,
part of it.
I look forward to the day that we can talk about the Coyotes in this case, where like this is their win now window.
I know.
One day,
The win now window.
one day, everyone. And I know we kind of got off topic, not talking about
Yeah,
the
sorry,
Coyotes
we
anymore in our
gotta
Coyotes
wait.
post game show, but it is interesting league news that's been happening this week. And speaking of just league news and Coyotes news, be sure to check out gophnx.com because that's where Craig has all his stories. And to read them all, you need to become a member at gophnx.com. You can sign up for the annual membership and get a shirt with that, or you can get your first month just 50 cents if you want to try. And all of Craig, like I said, all of Craig's stories are on there. Great content as well, not just from Craig, but from everybody else. All the beats covered here at PHNX. You can become a part of our members only Discord, which we reference often because it is a knowledgeable group.
It is.
And yeah, become part of the family here at PHNX. I finally got an email that my shirts shipped.
I know. Me too. On the way.
So did yours too?
Yours too today?
Nice.
Busy day for the merch department at PHNX today.
We've heard that the college shirts look amazing. So
Yeah,
looking forward to
it's a
seeing
rumor.
all the shirts come in. You might see us rocking some here on the post game.
Within the next
show
week,
soon,
we'll be rocking them
hopefully,
for sure. And Craig will be
you
gone
got-
again.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you're gone.
Yeah.
I'll be at the arena.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
Do you have anything to tease for GoPHNX?
Well, I've got my 5 takeaways off this
Yeah.
game. I had a fun conversation with Scott Wedgwood and some interesting things. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a lot of
gotta
discussion. You know, he's only played I think it's like 10 games now that he's appeared in Vimelka, and people are talking about flipping him already. So I'll
What?
discuss. I know they're talking about flipping him.
I've
Will they
seen
flip him at the trade deadline? Well, I get into that a little bit tomorrow. So there's some nuggets in the 5 takeaways tomorrow off this game.
Look at all these people.
I
who
never got
also
their
emails.
email merch today.
Oh,
Yeah,
everyone,
merch
when
email.
you
Look at
get your
this.
merch, please tweet
yeah,
at
tweet
us
us the pictures,
and tag
please.
at PHNX_Coyotes. We want to see you in your PHNX merch. We would love to see that because it just brings us a lot of joy. And also be sure to follow us on Twitter, especially Petey. We're trying to
Oh,
grow his
yeah.
followers at SPetersHockey. He's getting way better at Twitter.
I'm trying.
He is.
We're gonna start doing more video stuff
Yeah.
too.
And we're gonna
Breakdowns
So
and-
Petey, you know, everyone knows that Petey was a video coach for 23 years.
Yeah.
We're going to have some video breakdowns, and that's going to be more stuff that's going to be behind the paywall at GoPHNX. Just another plug to get that membership now, because that's some great stuff
Yeah.
that you'll see.
We want to
there.
have some positive stuff to break down too, like behind the paywall for video. Because tonight just wasn't
Yeah.
it. Tonight
Well-
wasn't the night.
Yeah, no, it would have been a good night to break down video, though.
I know.
Let's be honest. There were
True.
I was
some
moderately animated
glaring
at
mistakes
points.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, also next week the Coyotes begin their road schedule in the Central Division, so I'll have realignment 3.0 coming.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
love
coming
it.
next
And are they finally going to get a matchup with those Chicago Blackhawks?
Yeah,
That's next week,
really get a
right?
sense of where they
The battle
they
for the
stack up now.
basement and
Yeah.
see where it really is.
Blackhawks, Montreal, and
the
the Coyotes right
chase
now,
for
right?
right.
Yeah, the Blackhawks have 4 points. Coyotes have 1.
How's Mo-
Blackhawks are 1-8-2. Coyotes are 0-10-1.
Well, honestly, we want to see how they stack up against Seattle. Montreal's a ways off, but Chicago, those are the teams that right now, and Ottawa are the chase for right. We'll
Yep.
see
We will see for sure. Well, we will be back
tomorrow.
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
It's like, when's the next game? Tomorrow. Tomorrow night, post game after the Seattle game, Craig will be calling in from whatever setup he has going from the Gila River Arena.
I'm feeling the garbage can set up again
Yeah.
tomorrow. I think
Yeah.
I've got it scoped out.
Craig calls. He'll be back in a suit for those who.
Yes.
who
I will
are
be back
keeping
in a suit,
track.
so Maybe not quite discount Clark Kent tomorrow. I love
Oh
that
my
nickname.
God.
I might change my Twitter handle to
Yeah.
discount Clark Kent.
That should
That's
be
pretty
your
good.
bio. That's
It's
good.
really good.
That's real good. Well, thanks for whoever suggested that. Follow Craig on Twitter at Craig S. Morgan, me at Leah Merrall, PD at S. Peters Hockey, Shane at Shane Deef, Aaron at Aaron
Slindy Air 9.
Slindy Aaron 9. There you go. And Coyotes Twitter
I
at
am beer.
PHNX_Coyotes. I am beer always.
I am beer.
We made it through another
Oh.
Coyotes loss.
Do you see what Andrew said? The $3,000 Armani suit, right?
Should I wear that tomorrow?
No. Well, Andrew, you got to remind us, we're going to have an Aranamani segment on one of our shows.
We're gonna have a what?
Oh, what?
Aranamani. Aranamani? You never went to Aranamani in LA?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Suit place in LA, Armani. You say it really fast, it sounds like Armani. $99.99.
This is the place that Bronco talked about?
$99.99.
Rick Bronstein talked about?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
For
now I know what you're talking about.
$99.99, you get a suit, shirt, tie,
Sounds like
belt,
an ad,
socks,
doesn't it?
shoes. Head to toe, $99.99. You think I'm joking? Buddy?
Buddy?
It sounds like another
You know me to
Starts
Ron
calling
Amani.
you
I got
buddy.
my
This is not an actual sponsor of ours.
No free ads, Petey. No free ads.
$99.99 to Ron Amani.
Crazy
All right.
Eddie.
Well,
I have pictures. We'll get a tour of Ron Amani.
well, everyone, don't worry. Everything is going to be all right.
Going for the franchise record tomorrow, though. Going
Good
for the
night.
franchise record.